I don't know if you believe it, but I can't find my purse anywhere.
Jam on toast!
Hey there, welcome to Jam. I'm Cameron, and today the toast is to Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is week 15 of hashtag We Are Movie Club. This week's pick was Cristina M's. I gotta say, super great pick. I know a lot of people are gonna like this one. I've never really seen it from start to finish before. I've always seen like large parts of it, and I gotta say I'm really glad I did. My love it for this one is all the little subtle things that they didn't have to do that really kind of make it you think about things and question things. And I ended up with like a list of topics that I'd like to discuss, and I realized that none of them really get resolved. They're all kind of mentioned in passing. Like on the side of the car, it's she got hers, now he gets his. I could spend an whole hour talking about that, and no one needs that right now. The pearl necklace Tim Curry's wearing when he first comes out in drag, I thought was a very nice touch. It just shows that somebody put a lot of work and a lot of attention to detail into this. My hate was that anything scientific kind of gets written off, like the whole creating Rocky thing, the magnet that they used to pull the guy up with his wheelchair. It's all really goofy. It's got a weird basis. It kind of broke my suspension of disbelief. It was like, wait, why did they do that? It was the only points in the movie, even with the narration and the meta, that I really broke and was like, wait, I'm watching a movie and they chose to do that. Just me. I don't expect anyone else has the same complaint. The MVP for this, without a doubt, is Tim Curry. You can see it in some of the other actors too, but he can act with just his face. I mean, he'll be sitting there and he'll do like little lip things, and with all the makeup and such that's on him, it's very expressive. And I really like that out of Tim Curry. Him and Susan Sarandon. If you had shown me all their other works and everything, and I hadn't seen this, I never would have guessed they were involved in this. Excellent jobs for really all the cast, but Tim Curry just kind of stole it for me. Let's go on the categories. Aesthetics. This is a musical, so the music is a very big part of the aesthetic to it. That's what makes you really feel and get drawn into things. And while I'm not going to be humming any of these songs later, except maybe the Time Warp, and probably if I mention Rocky Horror Picture to somebody else is going to start singing stuff, and I'm going to recognize it, I'll probably nod my head or whatever. But they're not songs that really swept me away. They're not songs that did anything else than take me into the moment of the story and really helped build that story. I really enjoyed the music in the moment, at least. They did a really good job with all the drag work too, the men and women's clothing type things, the ringmaster outfit that the girl's in, a lot of the good costume work, the fact that they strip them down to their underwear so they're vulnerable and exposed, and they leave them like that for most of the movie. That was a big deal. The kind of scrub house mom look that Tim Curry has in the laboratory at first. Just the weird random moments when things pop out at you. I don't feel that a lot of musical things that I've watched, because I don't watch a whole lot of musicals, they rely on the music to make the point. But this is one where you turn it off, you would still be getting something out of it, because it's that expressive everywhere. And they paid a lot of attention to detail for the scenes. And I really gotta say, they did a great job on this. Aesthetics gets a 90. Character development. The movie makes you ask a lot of questions if you're paying attention, and you don't really get a lot of answers for the movie. You may arrive to your own answers and end up developing the characters in your own mind. Like, oh, well, he's this because this, and my morals say that. Whereas someone who's very pan would just be like, yeah, everybody's having fun. No big deal. We're more conservative people, much like, whereas a lot of conservative people, much like the couple originally were, would have issues with a lot of this, which they do in the beginning, and they end up getting broken out and become brand new characters by the end and through all this exposure. I really gotta say they did a great job. I'm very interested that they took the characters the route they did, but I don't want to spoil that particular aspect. Character development gets a 90. Storyline. This is a very well thought out story. They paid attention to the details as much in the story as they did the scenes, and it was presented very well. That's the more amazing part, that someone like not only had a vision, wrote this down, but then they were able to get this visual out of that ideal. Very interesting to see that. I think it really was a great story. It's definitely one that's kept with a lot of people, so it's hard to ignore that success as well. Storyline gets a 90. Compulsion. Sometimes I have a problem getting drawn into movies. Given that I watch a lot of them, you would think that'd be an issue, but usually I'm multitasking. I could not bring myself to do anything else other than laundry while I was watching this. I think that's a very good sign. I think that definitely means that it'll draw you in, it'll keep your attention. I think if you're going to watch this all, you're pretty much going to be locked into it. You're going to be thinking, if you're a thinking person. If you turn your brain off, you're going to just be enjoying all the hullabaloo. Because there's quite a bit of that as well. Propulsion gets a 90. Now if you total all that up, you get an average of 90. Now normally this is where I say this makes it a top tier movie, and quite frankly it is academically. Personally, I'm probably not going to watch this ever again in its entirety. I'll watch scenes come up and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is that, and yeah, hey, and for the moment, and then I'll move on with whatever I'm doing. I don't think I'm ever going to sit down and turn this on purpose and be like, hey, let's watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. But given the culture and the fan base that follows this movie, by all means, watch this movie if you haven't seen it before and give it a fair shake. Because not everything is for everyone, but it is really well done, whether or not it struck me personally. I just didn't find a whole lot to relate to it. And honestly, I'd rather see a dozen different movies based on each of the topics that they poke questions at throughout the movie, instead of one movie that kind of mentions them all in passing. And granted, it makes you think, but I'd rather see someone's perspective on that. Once again, this was a review for hashtag We Are Movie Club. This week was Cristina M. Great pick. Next week, I think she tagged Charlie, and we're going to be doing Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I don't think that one's on Netflix, or at least not here in America. So I'm sure if you go check out his channel, he's got something for you if you're having trouble finding it. Hey, that's it for me. I'm Cameron. If you don't like me, bite me. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.